What's up, Iron Fire family? Today, we're doing a full walkthrough of this 133-inch 4K home theater. Oh yeah, did I mention that it has a 3D hunting shooting simulator? Let's go check it out. All right, so first we're gonna talk video. Let's talk about this amazing 133-inch Maestro Acoustic Screen. This room does have a 7.1 surround sound, but before we get into the audio, I want y'all to know that there's actually 3 speakers behind this screen. Our center, our right, and a left. These are the Blue Series speakers by Elura. And once again, I'll get to those in a second, because right now, I want to talk about screens. That's one of the biggest questions that we get is screens. You're gonna know that there's $700 screens and $10,000 screens. What is the actual difference? The difference is how the room is going to be used and speaker placement. If this is going to be a dedicated audio video room to where the lights are going to be off, you can go with an entry-level white screen. It is going to give you some reflection and it's going to give you some kickback, so it's going to brighten up the room. But those white screens are used for rooms where they're going to be all black to make sure that you don't have no lighting hitting it or blurring out the image. 2, let's talk about ambient control. Black diamond, slate, some of the screens that we use are actually meant to be used in a multi-purpose room to where you can leave all the lights on and the actual screen is going to block lighting from above, from the right, from the left, depending. Screens that are built for short throw projectors are actually meant to only take lighting from under. And then you have acoustic. Acoustic like this one that is actually has little bitty holes to where the audio can actually travel through the screen so you can get a better audio experience. You can place your speakers behind the screen, still get an amazing picture quality, and also get better directional audio. In a second, we'll get to the projector, but let's talk audio. Okay, so let's talk audio. I'm going to sit right here so you can get a better idea of directional audio. This is a 7.1 surround sound. The 7 is going to be the amount of surround speakers that you have built in the room. The 0.1 is going to be your subwoofer. If you ever hear the term 7.1 or 7.2.2, that last number is going to be Dolby Atmos. In this specific room, we don't have a Dolby Atmos setup. This is just a 7.1, but we do have amazing speakers in here. Let's start with the front. In the front, we have the Elura Blue Label LCR in-wall speakers behind the screen. When it comes to my surround, I have the 6-inch Elura Blue Label, and then my surround backs still the Elura Blue Label in-ceiling speakers. These speakers are powerful. They actually won Best Quality Audio at the Cydia Convention in 2016 when they first came out. So it is a great brand, reputable. It does have a lifetime warranty. And at some point, Empire AV Services was actually one of the top dealers of Elura speakers in the nation. Since then, we've tried and switched to other brands, but we still use the Elura brand a lot. And in this video, I wanted to highlight them because they are an amazing speaker. When it comes to directional audio, you want to make sure that speaker placement is based on the seating of the room. Now, I know we get a lot of kickback when it comes to in-ceiling speakers to all my audiophiles. Trust me, I do know and understand that directional audio, bringing them down to ear level, it is the industry standard in which you're supposed to do. Unfortunately, in certain scenarios, because of sconces, because of wall placement, because of decorations, whatever the case may be, we have to go in-ceiling speakers. But do keep in mind that architectural technology has evolved so much with movable tweeters, with movable woofers. Technology has evolved so much to where you can still get a great surround sound experience even though your speakers are in the ceiling. Now, do keep in mind that has a lot to do with the processing power in the rack, which we'll get to in a second. But these speakers can actually take as much ampage or wattage as you want to feed them, or as much as a standard AVR can actually push out. When you get to more of the separates and high ampage AVRs or amplifiers, you may need to upgrade your in-ceiling speakers. But for the most part, these speakers are going to give you an amazing audio experience. They're going to touch the highs and the lows to make sure that you feel like you're in the movies. Now, what is the movies without a great projector? And we're going to talk about that next. This right here is the Epson LS LS12000. This is a 4K laser projector with a 2.5 million to 1 contrast ratio. A contrast ratio is what's actually going to determine how deep your blacks are, and the deeper your blacks, the more realistic the image is going to look. Also keep in mind the throw ratio of this projector actually allows us, because it has a lens shift, to put the projector technically anywhere between here and still fit it into the screen. It does have a 2700 lumen brightness, so it is not one of the brightest, but as you can see, this screen is projected on a white acoustic screen with all of the lights on, and we still are getting a sharp and bright image. Great projector. It does have a LCD chip into it. We do have a Balun running from here to the rack to feed it audio from the receiver. When it comes to inputs, we have a Roku, which is what we use for all of our streaming and video playing. We do have a computer, a laptop that has an HDMI out going into the receiver. This is actually what's controlling the 3D skeet shoot. Now, I would love to do a demo on this, but I have to turn all the lights off in order for this to work. But do keep in mind that this is a multi-purpose room. So from here, I can actually hunt all of the other AV companies on YouTube and take them down. Okay, so let's talk about control. I talked about this acoustic 133-inch screen. I talked about the 4K laser projector, the 7.1 surround sound speakers in the Elura audio brand. But how do you control all this stuff? And then we'll talk about what your controller. Here, I actually have 3 different user interfaces. The SR260 handheld remote, which is extremely recommended for any audio video room. I have a T4 touchscreen that's actually not just controlling this room, but the entire house. And obviously we still have the app to use it with our phone. In this scenario, this is the T4 touchscreen that's controlling this house. Whenever you open up your T4, you actually have the option, as you can see, to create your favorite rooms. So you can just swipe through the rooms. Even though you have all of the rooms in the house, you can actually put a little heart and highlight your favorites. In this scenario, we're only talking about the home theater, and as you can see, I have a watch, listen, security, and a shortcut for Netflix. Using this room is fairly simple. I can come into the room, hit watch. It's actually going to turn on the projector, turn on the receiver, and it's going to give me my sources. The SM Hunter is the HDMI that's feeding the laptop into the receiver, so I can send the visuals from the laptop and what's processing the shooting simulator, and then I can display it on here. The Roku is obviously what's giving us all of our shortcuts, and all of our streaming, and then let's talk shortcuts. The reason we really like eliminating the processing power from TVs or any smart devices and put it on a Roku, one, it has shortcuts. So from here, I can actually take the system straight to the shortcut. So if I hit Netflix, you'll actually notice that the screen behind me is going to switch over and take the projector straight into Netflix. I can actually create shortcuts. Let me show you guys this. I can actually create shortcuts so I can put them into the home screen. I can come over here, I can go to watch, theater, and then I can press and hold, add to room favorites, and now this is going to be set up in the room favorites, and I can actually come into the room while it's on an off state, projector off, receiver off, everything off, and just click that, and it's going to turn everything on and take me straight into Netflix. This piece of equipment is controlling everything in here and the brains, which is in this room behind me. Let's check it out. All right, so this is the rack. Now keep in mind that this entire rack is not for just this home theater. This is the rack that's powering the entire house. And basically this and right here are the 2 pieces of equipment that I want to point out. The Core 5 controller is what's processing the Control 4 system, not just for this room, but the entire house. And this Denon 3800, it's what's actually powering the 7.1 surround sound. When it comes to the surround sounds, the amount of channels and the watts that you need per channel, it's what's going to determine what type of receiver you use. For the most part, receivers nowadays all gonna come in 7-channel. From there, you get your 9 channels, 11 channel, 13 channel. But this is actually a 9-channel multi-zone receiver. If we wanted to link multiple zones of audio to this receiver, we can. In this scenario, it literally has 3 inputs going into it and speaker outs into the speakers in the room. This full rack is the rack that we have for the entire house. And like I mentioned, you have to stay tuned next week for that video. We're doing a full Empire AV smart home cribs of this project. All right, we talked racked, we talked audio, we talked video. This right here is one of the coolest features about this room. And like I mentioned earlier, I have to turn off all the lights in order to be able to show y'all this, but we're about to demo this. It's pretty cool. Check it out. Shoot. I'm hitting it, right?
No.
I think it's not calibrated.
It's not the kind of machine.
Huh? Boy! I'm hitting it right in the middle. I'm still gonna beat you, whatever. All right, so there is a link at the bottom of this in the description. Go ahead and shoot away. Connect with us. We would love to help you out. This is a project that we can bring to your home. So click the link below. Don't forget to look, listen, and live with Empire AV. Come back next week and see what we have in store.